Good morning, this is Farina Support, and now we are going to know about the applicant registration in this session of our webinar tonight. So let us start with adding of subjects. Before going into the applicant registration plugin, I would like to let you know about on which concept the whole plugin is built upon. Supposingly in your institutions, you come across situations where you need to have an entrance examination and applicants are requested to fill that application, and based on which you need to allot or discard a student. So for making the application kind of thing working in Fedina and allowing the students who have applied for the application who have applied for a particular course, this applicant registration comes into play. So before asking students to apply, you need to have a course. So we will start up with making a course from the manage course or batch part. Let us say that I want to make a course called manage course, and I need to start with the new button here. The course name, let me put it as bridge course 1. The code name can be BC, and the initial batch details can be A 2013. So I would be starting up with this. So once we have done this, so this would be available in the list of the courses that are there in the institution. So you need to you need to go into one of these courses, and I have two bridge courses here, so I need to edit one of them so that I need to keep a track record on all of them. So here's the one that I created is bridge course 2, and the batch that I have in it is BC to April. So further in BC to April, I have one student already there. So this was the one that I have created sometime before. This is the one that we have created right now. So BC1 A 2013 is a batch that we have created under bridge course. So now you do not have any kind of students into it, but after creation of the courses and batch, the next task would be to go to the manage subject and manage some subjects for this particular batch. So we would start up with adding some normal subjects. Let us say that we have a normal subject called maths with a weekly class limit of 4. I'm creating some more classes for the sake of easiness. Then we can have an elective group. Supposing in your institution you need to have some kind of elective groups where you have different kinds of subjects. So I am going to create an elective group called foreign languages. So under foreign languages I am going to have 2 to 3 subjects called German, with a weekly class limit of 4, French, the maximum weekly classes is a mandatory field, so we need to fill it anyhow. Otherwise, we would get a flash message saying that these fields are mandatory and need to be filled. So let us say that we have created a batch where we have some subjects here. Two subjects come under the normal subjects, and this elective group foreign languages has a set with 3 languages in it. So this is how you have created your courses, batches and stuffed subjects into it. So now we are ready to go into the applicant registration plugin. To go into the applicant registration plugin, you need to go to the more menu, select applicant registration from there, and you come across the applicant registration homepage. So the first thing you need to do is just create manage courses and add the courses that you have created. I would be adding bridge course 1 that I have created today. So to add this thing, you need to have a look upon the kind of adding the course it is. Supposingly in your institution you have something called the subject based registration. So for this particular course, if you are opting for subject based registration as active, this would mean that the registration which for all of the students will be based upon the kind of the number of subjects that they opt to take from the elective groups. So but if you do not have such kind of facilities in your institution, you need to just go upon select upon inactive, and all the students who will be asked to register will have to check the elective subjects that they can put up. So there would be no bar on selecting upon the number of elective subjects for the elective groups. Now we would further move upon making the new courses, putting a minimum amount, let us say 100. So if I'm putting subject based registration as inactive and an amount of 100, so every student would be charged an 100 rupee amount for registration registering in the course. Then we would moving upon to the next thing, whether it's an active. So normally if you want to have this course as active for this period, then you can have it. Moreover, at some point of time you need to have the course that you're adding to be acting as inactive. So you can even switch upon to active and inactive at a given period of time. Then comes the pin enable system. The pin system enable helps you to create a pin for all the students who will be registering into the system. So the thing that we can take it as, every student who pays the clerk will be given a pin from the list of pins that are generated here, and based on using the pin, the students can register for the particular exam. So here I am putting up it as, then we have something called the enable approval system as active or inactive. So approval of the student is to be can be set up as active and inactive both. Then we have something here called the additional fields. These additional fields are mandatory for the particular institution, as you mentioned in the earlier part in earlier sessions of our core modules, that if you want to have some additional fields along with the one that are available in Fedina already, then you can create so these additional fields will be created in the application of the students. So now we can see that resides in town and passport number are mandatorily active. This means that while creating the additional fields, we have set it as active by default, and these fields will be mandatorily has to be filled and will be coming up. So on creating, I will come across this field, this list of all these all the courses which are available for being registered. Then comes the thing to about the pins. So the funda of pins revolves around the concept that every student who will be paying some kind of money for the registration to the clerk will be given a pin or a key, and this key would be the identification of the money, of the identification of the paying of the money. So now we would be starting up with the pins. So to manage pins, you need to click upon the manage pins part and click in and say a new pin. Let us say that I am making a pin, and I can even set the validity date for those pins. The validity says, say it starts from today and ends up to 5 of the next month or the month of October. Then I need to name this pin as pin August, and then the maximum number of pins that can be put up is, let us say, 30. And this pin is obviously active, so you need to select it. Select the active part from here and then select save. Moreover, if you want to have this pin available for all the courses in the applicant registration that are available in applicant registration, then you can select all. But if you want to have a particular type of pin for a particular batch or a particular course, then you can also do so by selecting the particular course from the options available here. So now you get to have 30 pins which are not registered and which are available for registration. So to start off with, we will be moving up with a new pin. Now this pin has been copied. So every time now we would be seeing up how the student can be registering in himself in the particular course. So all you need to do is just go upon the school's website. Let us say it's in the Fedina is in deepal.fedina.org in my case. So I would be appending /register to this, and I'm clicking in the same. I would be getting an option to select the course. On selecting the course, I have a number of courses here. So bridge course 1 is the one that I have created right now. I would be selecting it, entering the pin and clicking submit. So on clicking submit, this page redirects me to the application page which the student has to fill up and has to enter it for and has to submit it. So now we would be starting up with filling up the form. For an example, let us say that I have a form called, I have a student called Shyam. His details are to be filled. Nationality, please mark that only 4 to 5 fields are mandatory here, so you need to fill the 4 to 5 fields. Moreover, these fields are made mandatory from the user part. So the additional fields like resides in town and passport number are to be entered. Then the rest of the things like the contact details, the user photo, the last attended institution details, the parent details, and again parent details is obviously a mandatory field, so I would be entering some values to it, otherwise the system won't be allowing me to proceed further. So parent personal details are entered, then the parent contact details followed by the additional details, and then comes the additional attachments. Supposingly if some of the additional attachments like the previous year class, previous education institutions marks or mark sheets or pass certificates are required, then those things can be scanned up and can be attached with this too. So now you can save and proceed the whole thing. So when here comes total payable amount is 100, so this would mean that the money that we have entered for this particular person is 100. Now we would be printing up the application for further use by the student. The application which would be coming up would look something like this. The application date, which would mean that application date, application fee, and the rest of the things will be showing up in the PDF generated. This is how you would be dealing up with the pins and how the student will be registering to this. Now we would be moving up, but once the registration is done, how this would be available from the user's end. So you can go to the applicant registration home page and see the list of all the courses there. Now the course that we have somebody has registered is Bridge Course 1, so I would be viewing the applicants there. So now this comes a page where I will be able to see all the list of the students who have registered as per the particular course. So then comes a part where I need to allot or discard this particular student. So let us say that I open up the profile of the particular student or the application here. So here you need to have two things called academically cleared. After having academically cleared, the next job is to mark him as paid. If the student has paid and if the PIN system has worked up, the PIN system that has entered here has worked up, then this would mean that there comes the time of again double verification, where you can see again with the PIN number the system is already that intelligent to check the PIN that has been generated and the one that has been registered with. But again, if you want to double check it, you can check it. So this way you can make ensure that the part of the fees has been paid. The next part of the workaround is again you need not to have some kind of PIN system, or the money cannot be paid directly by the client, by the student there. And after paying the money here by seeing the application, you can mark him as paid. So either of the ways you can mark him as paid. And now the next job is to admit the applicant to a batch. Once he is academically cleared and financially cleared, then he need to admit the applicant to a batch. So to admit an applicant, you need to click upon the particular link that I have clicked right now, and then you need to select this particular batch. So on hitting save, this student would be available in the list. To verify it again, you can go to the students part and type the name of the student, and you would be able to see that in your batch BC1 2013, Shyam Shao has been admitted. So this is how Shyam Shao can be admitted. No, moreover, another profile under his name will be created. So if he wants, he can even view. Normally in a normal scenario, we have the username, the admission number is the username, and the password as the admission number followed by 1 2 3. So using these credentials, he would be able to change I have enabled first time login change password on here, so I am asked to change the password first time I logged in. So having done this, now Shyam is ready to use his Fedina on full-fledged. So this was all about the applicant registration. Now we would be moving upon some more things like the allotting and discarding of students. Supposingly here you get a list of all the students who have been allotted. So to do so, we have something here called the filter part, where you need to just click upon the allotted, and on clicking filter, you need to put a date from which you want to have a record upon. So on clicking filter, from that particular date to this, you will get the list of all the students who has been allotted. Again, the status can be viewed up by filtering it as here you get a list of all the allotted students. Now if you want to see the list of all the other discarded students, then you can also use the drop down menu here and discard them. Moreover, If you want to allot the student directly from here itself, then you can see the list. You can make the status as all, click the filter button and select allot or discard against the particular student. So here I am seeing if let us say that if the particular student is not academically cleared, and if I want to allot him, so I would be getting an system saying that this student has not been academically cleared and you cannot be allotting him. Moreover, if you want to discard student, you can also click upon the particular person and discard him. So this was all about the applicant registration in a nutshell. Now we will be moving up to deal with the queries. Thank you.